How you guys doing? This is my UFC live Vera versus Jones predictions. Let's get right to it. First fight is Eric Ravishing Red Schaefer versus Jason Brills. This is an interesting matchup. Jason Brills, brand striker, and Eric Schaefer, he's a black belt in BJJ. So this is a tough fight for me to call, but I'm gonna go with Eric Schaefer just because he got more experience in the octagon. His ground game is really solid, and he got decent stand-up. So I'm gonna go with Eric Schaefer by second round submission on triangle. Our second fight is Mike Pierce versus Julio Polino. I don't know much about Julio Polino. I know he's making his UFC debut, but he's gonna have his hands full with Mike Pierce. Mike Pierce is no joke, even though he just came off a loss to John Fitz, but don't take that away from him. He's still expecting him to come back, bounce back with a tough performance in this fight. So I'm picking Mike Pierce first round knockout with TKO. Next fight, Brandon Schaub versus Chase Gormley. This is really, I think this is going to be a one-sided matchup. Chase Gormley, he's really not that good. His UFC debut, he got dominated by Stephen Struve. And Brandon Schaub, of course, he's just coming off a loss to Fat Boy, whatever his name is, Roy Nelson. Sorry about that. He just coming off a loss to Roy Nelson in the Ultimate Fighter finale. He got knocked out. Expecting to bounce back in this fight with a great performance. I'm picking Brandon Schaub, first round knockout. Next fight, John Doomsday Howard versus Danny Roberts. He's also making his UFC debut. John Howard, he's looked really great lately. He's won 3 fights in a row in the UFC. His last fight, he knocked out Dennis Superman Hallman with only 5 seconds left in the fight. I'm gonna pick John Howard in this fight by unanimous decision. Next fight, Elliot the Fire Marshall versus Vladimir the Janitor Machusenko. Vladimir has too much experience for Elliot Marshall. I think he's going to be too strong for him, and I'm actually picking Vladimir to win this fight by second round TKO. Oh, this is one of my favorite fights. Clay Guida, the Carpenter Guida versus Shannon Gergely. Sorry, Shannon Gergely, this is the worst matchup for you, baby. Clay Guida is coming off 2 losses in a row in the UFC. Don't expect him to lose this fight. He's gonna bring the pace. He's gonna come forward the whole fight, and Clay Guida hasn't finished the fight in the UFC in a minute, but I think he's gonna finish Gergely in this fight. I'm picking Clay Guida to win by submission in the second round. Next fight, we got Alessio Legionarius Sakara versus James the Sandman Irvin. Alessio Sakara has won 2 fights in a row in the UFC, even though I thought he lost his last fight against Talus Latis, but you can't let it go to the judges. And James Irvin, on the other hand, he hasn't fought since he got knocked out in 2008 by Anderson Silva. I'm picking James Irvin by a knockout. He's too explosive. Alessio Sakara is a can. I just don't think he can handle James Irvin punching power. Our next fight, we got Czech Congo versus Paul the Headhunter Bontello. Czech Congo coming up 2 losses in a row. Just recently got submitted, choked out by Frank Mir. And Paul Bontello also coming up a loss to Skyscraper Stephen Struve. This is going to be a brawl. Expect this fight to stay standing the whole fight. I'm picking Czech Congo by knockout in the second round. This is our co-main event. Junior Cigano dos Santos versus Gabriel the Pau Gonzaga. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Junior dos Santos has won 4 fights in a row in the UFC. Recently knocked out Gilbert Ivo. But Gabriel Gonzaga, I think he's going to find a way to win this fight, though. You know what I mean? Not too long ago, before Dos Santos was in the UFC, he lost to a can. He got submitted by Joaquin Ferreira. And I just think Gabriel Gonzaga is no way he's gonna lose this fight. He's gonna find a way to win this fight, and he's gonna end the hype towards Dos Santos. So I'm picking Gonzaga by second round submission, armbar. Our main event: Brandon the Truth Vera versus Johnny Bones Jones. That's a lot of hype on John Jones.